in maths we've been learning about how to partition to help us with our division. So I'm going to show you how we've been doing that recently. So our first one we're going to partition, and we're going to simply partition it, and then in our next one we're going to need to move a tens across into one of our parts to be able to work out our answer more easily. So our first calculation we're going to do is going to be 93 divided by 3, and we're going to find our answer. Okay, so I'm going to use my place value counter. So I'm going to have 9 tens on here because 9 tens is 90. And then I've got my 9 tens, and then I'm going to have 3 ones. So I've got 3 ones. So I've got those now as 93 in my whole. Now sometimes I would put extras into my parts, but today I'm going to use my numbers that I've already got. So my counters that I've already got. So I'm going to put my 3s in one of my parts, and then I'm going to put my 90 in the other part. So that now means that I've got 90 and 3 in my 2 parts, and they were together in my whole. So I'm going to move them out of the way now, and I'm going to write it down. So I've got 90 in one part, and then I've got 3 in the other part. I'm then going to be dividing today by 3. So I'm going to divide each of these by 3. And we call this in our class the leg, and then this is their shoes. So we've got our whole, our parts, their legs, and their shoes. So now we're going to divide each of our numbers by 3. Now I can use my multiplications to help me with my divisions. So I know that 9 is 10 times less than 90. So I can forget about my 0 for a moment, and I can do 9 divided by 3 instead. And I can see down in my answers that an answer here is 9. So 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So my answer here is going to be 3 when I've forgotten about my 0, and then I need to remember to add my 0 on, because I'm not doing 9 divided by 3, I'm doing 90 divided by 3, and that gives me the answer of 30. I'm then going to do 3 divided by 3, and I know that 3's in my answers here, so 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So my answer here is going to be 1. Then all I need to do is add my 2 answers up. So I'm doing 30 add 1, which gives me the answer of 31. So if we go back to our original question, 93 divided by 3 equals 31. So with this one, because both of these answers, both of our parts, were easily divisible by 3, then we didn't need to do anything differently with that example. But I'm now going to show you an example if it isn't easily divisible by 3. So I'm going to move my place value counters off and give my board a little wipe. And now I'm going to do a different calculation. I'm going to do 52 divided by 4. So I'm going to find my answer to 52 divided by 4 this time. So again, I'm going to put my 10s and my 1s into my parts. So I've got 5 10s, and then I've got 2 1s. And then I'm going to split them again into 2 parts. So I've got my 10s and my 1s in my whole. I'm going to split them into 2 parts. So I've got my 2 1s and I've got my 5 10s. Now, my calculation says I'm dividing by 4. But when I look at my numbers this time, I can't easily do 50 divided by 4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, but then I've got a 10 left over. I've got 2, and I can't split it into 4 groups. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take one of my 10s and I'm going to put it in my other part. My whole is still 52. So my whole that I've got up in the top, my whole amount is still 52. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2. All I've done is I've moved across one of my 10s into my other part. So I've now got in this part, I have now got 40. And in this part, I haven't got 2 anymore, I've now got 12. And both of those are easily divisible by 4. So I can use my sheet again to help me to find, I can use my multiplications to help me find my divisions. So this time I'm going to do 40 divided by 4. So I'm going to look on my 4 times table all the way down to 40, and 40 divided by 4 equals 10. So my first answer is 10. And then I'm going to look at my next one. If I don't know it already, then 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Hoping that's one that we might start being able to just know without having to look at anything. So now I'm going to add my two answers together. So I'm going to do 10 add 3, which equals 13. So I know that my answer to 52 divided by 4 equals 13. And that's how we do partitioning in Year 3 to divide.